Yes. Really? There's no other option. You mean to tell me there's nothing we can do to keep the peace? Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll notify the troops. I'm afraid that you soldiers are here for a reason very different from my own. If I could, I would stop this war. But you seem bent on using combat to decide which is the greater army, the Yellow Army or the Red Army. So although I believe you're mistaken, I've been called upon as mediator to establish the rules for this war. There will be stiff, did you understand me? Stiff penalties for those who do not abide by the rules. At this time I'm going to fill you in on some of the details, some of the rules of Outpost. Outpost is a combat game similar to Capture the Flag, only in Outpost you're capturing the flags and also the members of the opposing team, either red or yellow. Each member of each team holds a different rank which carries a different point value. The ultimate goal of Outpost is to capture the opponent's generals. Pick your generals wisely. Looks like they're coming now. Generals are the highest in rank and point value. The UNPC is known as the United Nations Peace Central. It'll serve as a neutral site for players to report captures and settle disputes. And at that point, scouts turn in their information cards at the UNPC. Scouts are those who have lost all their lives and scout out the opposite team's information. For instance, if a red team general loses his life, he puts his flag on his wrist and he goes and searches for other lieutenants, generals for the other army. That way he can help out the other fighting man in his infantry or possibly sergeants. Basically, the higher the rank, the less life a person has. And the higher the rank, the higher point value a person has. The ranks are generals, top, lieutenants, sergeants, and infantry. Most players will be in the infantry. Field marshals will be dressed in all orange. Each team, yellow and red, will have a field marshal. Field marshals help their team discuss strategy, and also they hold the cards that unlock the hidden message worth 15,000 points. If you have a question, do not come to the UNPC. Go to your field marshal. He will help you in answering any questions. Some strategy for you: protect your generals carefully. When you capture an opposing soldier's flag, all other action ceases for you and that soldier. You will walk them to the UNPC where we will award points and make note of the lives that are left for that person. You capture someone by pulling a flag off, but you may not hold or tackle opponents in the process. Guys can only capture guys. Girls can capture guys, but guys cannot capture girls. Only guys capturing guys. A flag looks like this. A strip of yellow cloth and also a strip of red cloth. You should wear it in your back pocket of your pants, and people will simply pull that flag out. If they get your flag, then you walk to the UNPC to reward points for whoever received the flag. Soldiers may not guard their flags with their hands or sandwich their flags with trees or other objects. You may protect your flag by standing back to back or running away. Be careful as you run in these woods. Generals may also order other soldiers within their same team. If they make a capture, they can order a soldier to take that captured person back to the UNPC so that they don't give up their hiding place, or so that they don't have to lose their spot on the field. Only generals can do this. All others are responsible for taking their own captives back to the UNPC. Do not hang around the UNPC. It is simply a place for scouts to figure out the coded message and also for awarding points. Do not be around the UNPC if you're not there for that specific reason. The game is over if all generals are captured for one team, or whenever I decide to call a ceasefire. At this time, I would like for us to go and look at each team's base. Your base is very small. It's the only place where you're safe in the entire wooded area. But you should not hang out there. You should be in the midst of action and battle at all times. But at this time, I'm going to take you and show you the red team's base and then the yellow team's base. And also, as you look in the woods, there is yellow, bright caution tape surrounding the entire premises. If you go out of the yellow caution tape, you'll be deducted 10,000 points for your team. If a field marshal or myself or anyone notifies us that you are outside of the caution lines, you will automatically lose 10,000 points for your team. Stay within the boundaries. That is the first and primary rule. And second, be careful out there. This is the red team's headquarters. This is where the red team will enter action. This is also where the generals would probably want to start and find hiding places and find places to camp out for the game. Now notice here the red yarn. There's the red team's flag. Just to let you know where you are. If you notice around here, there's yarn going around this area. This is the only place in these entire fields that you are safe. Notice also the caution tape. If I were to cross that line right there where it says caution, I am in the middle of action. So, notice the boundary markings. As you walk down that way, you'll see the caution tape goes with it. Stay within the boundaries. So this is the red team's place to be when they're in need of safety. This is their headquarters. This is the headquarters for the yellow team. Notice the yellow flag, caution tape. Don't forget, caution tape means you're in play. You're no longer safe. Except if you're on the yellow team and you're within these boundaries. Notice the yellow yarn right around in the wooded area. And this yellow yarn is your headquarters. It's the only place on the entire field where the yellow team is safe. Now if you look this way, you see the caution tape. The caution tape runs all along this back side. And then it goes up about 50 yards. There's a creek in the midst. If you take a right, there's also caution tape on the back side of the woods. All of this area is in bounds. All of this area is where the war will begin. I want to say first and foremost that I wish we didn't have to do this war. I wish we could come to an agreement peacefully. But it seems like that just is not going to happen. So right now I want you to strategize. I want you to pick your generals. I want you to pick your lieutenants. I want you to pick your sergeants. You don't have to write down the infantry names now. You could do that as you come to the UNPC. But I want you to pick the best of the best. The best on your team. The fastest. The ones that don't mind hiding. The ones that don't mind camping out in some remote area where they cannot be found. So at this time, let's separate. And let's have all the people on the yellow team on the left-hand side of the room and all the people on the red team on the right-hand side. And let's go to war.